All right, my name is Annie Bader, and this is my case study for Keep Going First Aid, trying to define a new target audience. And let's get into it. So this is the project overview, of course, where I just talk quickly about the new user group that I thought would be a good one to reach, which would be athletes and athletic trainers or college students and alums. So I did go through the discover, define, ideate, and prototype phases. You can see the activities, some of the activities which were completed during those phases. In the discover phase, we had our design proposal, right? So I included a little bit about who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have a table of contents which covers my objectives. There were two main objectives, obviously: define and research a new target audience, and then create a landing page for that new audience. Like I mentioned before, we're going to go through the discover, define, ideate, and prototype phases. Deliverables at the end are going to be the project proposal, user research documents, wireframes, both low and hi-fi, and a functioning prototype. This is a 1-month project, so started on the week of 8/11 and ended, well, today on 9/3. In the define phase, that's where I was doing some user research, just looking into new audiences and more information about the audience that I chose. I started with a heuristic evaluation, just comparing Keep Going First Aid's website to another first aid supply kit company called Mfasco. Their accessibility was absolutely outstanding on the Keep Going's website. Their search feature, on the other hand, could really use some help. You can see the blue teal color represents Keep Going First Aid, and the orange color represents Mfasco. And these are actually tints of the colors from the branding kit for Keep Going First Aid. For the point of view, I was considering the point of view of an athletic medical trainer at a state university who just needs a better way to organize his medical bag, because as he's running out to treat players during games and practices, his supplies are getting mixed up. It's taking too long to find. I did complete a how might we exercise just to kind of reframe this problem and come up with some unique ideas on how to approach it. For the user persona, I included some information, a bio about Zion, that's my person, some pain points, some needs, and the ideal experience for that user, as well as some personality components and motivating factors. And those were mainly included to kind of guide the design, the feel of the design at the end. I also completed an empathy map, just thinking about what he's going to say, think, do, or feel when he's using first aid kits. The journey map was completed, and this is for a user's journey, specifically Zion the athletic trainer, into buying that first aid kit. So we go through the awareness, consideration, acquisition, service, and then loyalty phases, and just kind of look at how that user is feeling during that time, things that they're doing and saying, and then any pain points and opportunities for growth. And of course, I do have a summary of findings, which can be read on the Behance case study. But basically, users like Zion, they need quick access to their medical supplies, and they need bags that don't get mixed up, or where the items don't get mixed around. Oops. I also completed an infinity map, just thinking about words and phrases that are related to this user group and to this product, and then sorted them based on commonalities. The ideate phase was probably my favorite, because that's when we got into the hands-on, the design work, and I really enjoyed that. So I started with a user flow, just thinking through the steps and decision points that a user would take when on this website and trying to purchase one of these kits. You can see it started to get really long, so I shifted this over to the right to make better use of the space. For Crazy 8s, it's a brainstorming process. So I decided to draft 4 potential layouts for the landing page on the mobile site, and then 4 potential layouts for the desktop site, because I knew we were creating responsive wireframes, so I thought it was important to go through both. The paper prototypes ended up being the most useful thing I think I created. I didn't realize how handy they were going to be. Thought it was going to be a little bit tedious, kind of similar to the Crazy 8s, but in reality, Doing these helped me really think through each step that I would be taking as a user trying to purchase this kit, and all of the, screens that I'd be seeing during that process. And I actually wound up on both the website and desktops paper prototypes putting things out of order on accident. Like I'd make a screen and then I'd make what I thought was next and go, oh, wait a minute, how did we get from here to there? We needed this first. Like I forgot the drop down. So both of these are made up of drawings that I made, cut out, and then taped in the right section and then scanned into the computer. But I feel like that's how you work through problems is it's trial and error. And when it doesn't work one way, you go, oh, I can fix that. So for the responsive wireframes, I chose for this presentation to add red circles showing the user's journey through and just the main clickable components. I did end up making more of these components clickable, but I thought it was important that the KeepGoing First Aid, the company, sees, this is what I want the user to click on right here. This is how we're going to get them from point A to point B to purchasing the item. Okay, and we have our Figma links as well. This is not animated here, but when we do the prototype, you'll see the animation. Speaking of the prototype, now it's time. Let's do, we'll do the mobile view first because there's more screens. So for the mobile view, I made several components clickable on every screen. There's a hover feature, right? So all using branding colors from the company. So when you click on the menu button, the menu drops down, the X is functional as well. When you click on first aid kits, whether you click on the words or the arrow, it drops down. You can see I created some mock-ups using, well, a combination of Photoshop and Illustrator actually, to put some college logos on the solid colored kits that they have. And if I wanted to go back and forward, I can actually use these buttons to toggle through those screens as well. And the shopping cart button on every page takes me back to the shopping cart, as well as of course, the home logo takes you to the home. All right, so moving on to our first aid kits, we have first aid for first place, find your team kit. Yay. Oh, look at that. Now I'm on a browsing page, and from here, so cute, we can enter our team name, or if we wanted to scroll, I didn't make it scrollable, but in the future you could, oh, I like this team right here, let me go ahead and click on them. So I did make both the images, some of the images, and the search bar functional. And of course all the breadcrumbs, as you're seeing, are functional as well. So once we get here, ideally we're going for the super kit. We click on it, and yep, that's what I want. I added a little bit to their to the blurb from the website. I'm going to add that to my cart, and boom, that's the end of it. I did up the price just because I know that you have to pay more for college branding, so I thought this would be a way to kind of overcome that financial burden, if there is one, or if it's a big one, I mean. And then this is the desktop view, of course, so we have same features really. I did fewer screens for the desktop view just because of time constraints. So we have same idea though. We have our GIF, we have the FSU ones are clickable. This one is not, this one is not, but because in my user persona, the trainer is from FSU, I decided to make, go ahead and make those the clickable elements. So we have our super kit, which is the only one I use to buy, and just like before, our breadcrumbs are clickable. Drop down menu, oops, not on that page. Drop down menu is functional as well. And so that's the project. I think the biggest takeaway I have from doing this whole thing is it's a boatload of work, and it's really hard to get it all done in such a condensed amount of time while doing all the other things in the world as well. I think as a job it would be completely manageable, but as a second job it's not so much. And then the other thing is that the paper prototypes were extremely useful, and I probably would have struggled with the Figma design portion had I not taken the time to do that, the paper prototypes first.